Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? This time, we're all about helping you become a more confident English speaker.
We're going to be looking at a real conversation from the 360 VibeTalks podcast.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff in
Hey,
there.
real conversations, that's where it's at, right?
Yeah.
Actually using the language. And in this episode, we meet Lisa, a learner who, well, she gets a little nervous when she speaks English.
I think we've all been there at some point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who hasn't, right?
Mm.
So the host asks Lisa to introduce herself. And at first, she gives a pretty basic intro. Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm from India. I love reading. Simple.
Gets the job done for sure.
But, it doesn't exactly make you want to jump into a conversation, right?
Doesn't really open up any doors.
Exactly. But then the host encourages her to add some more details. And it's amazing. Her intro totally transforms.
Yeah, it becomes way more engaging.
It does. She says, Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm from India, and I've been learning English for 2 years now. I really enjoy reading as a way to improve my communication skills.
Mm-hmm.
It's still her, but with more depth.
More personality, right? And it tells us more about her journey as an English learner.
Totally. So what do you think makes this second introduction so much stronger?
Well, for one thing, sharing a bit more about herself shows confidence, don't you think?
Yeah.
And it also gives context. We understand why she's learning English, and that makes her more relatable.
Right. And I bet it makes people more likely to ask your questions and, actually start a conversation.
Absolutely. It invites further interaction. It's like she's giving us little hooks to connect with her on.
I love that. Hooks to connect. Okay, listeners, now think about your introduction. What details could you add to make it more engaging?
What could you share that would spark someone's interest?
Right. Maybe you could mention a project you're working on or a hobby you're passionate about.
Think about what makes you unique and share that.
Now, there were 3 phrases in this episode that really stood out to me. How are you doing? I appreciate it. And can you repeat that, please? Like, on the surface, they seem pretty simple, right?
Yeah, we use them all the time.
But the expert on the podcast made a really interesting point about them. They said that just memorizing phrases isn't enough.
It's true. It's not just about the words themselves.
So what's the secret sauce then?
It's about the intention behind the words. When you say, how are you doing, you're not just saying hello. You're expressing genuine interest in the other person.
Right. You're actually inviting them to share something about themselves.
Exactly. And when you say, I appreciate it, it feels way more sincere than just a quick thanks, right?
Yeah, way more heartfelt. You're acknowledging their effort.
Exactly. And can you repeat that, please?
Yeah.
Shows that you're really committed to understanding what they're saying. It's all about clear communication.
Oh, I like that. So it's like, it's not just about the phrases themselves. It's about being polite, clear, and engaged. Like really present in the conversation.
Exactly. It's about connecting with the person you're talking to.
So what if, instead of trying to memorize a bunch of specific phrases, we brainstormed our own go-to phrases for different situations? Like, what do you say when you need to politely disagree with someone? Or when you want to ask for clarification?
I love that idea. It's all about having the right tools for the job.
Right. And being able to adapt your language to different situations, that's real fluency.
It really is. It shows you're thinking about the other person in the context of the conversation.
Okay, so there's a challenge at the end of the episode that I really want to share with everyone.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about it.
They challenge listeners to use one new English phrase in a real conversation today.
That's a great challenge.
And it reminded me of this time I was at a cafe, and they had all these new pastries, right? And I really wanted to try this one, but I was kind of nervous to order it because I didn't know the name. But then I remembered this phrase, I'm keen to try. And I was like, okay, this is my chance.
So did you use it?
Yeah. I was like, I'm keen to try that pastry with the crumbly topping. And the barista was like, oh, you mean the crumble? And I was like, yes, the crumble, please.
Yeah.
It was such a small thing, but I felt so good about myself afterward.
Because you took action. You used the phrase and it worked. That's how we build confidence, by putting our knowledge into practice.
And as we become more confident, we become more fluent. So it's a win-win, right?
Absolutely.
So to recap, what have we learned today? Adding details can make our introductions more engaging and spark conversations.
We've also seen how important the intention is behind the phrases we use.
And we've been reminded that taking action, even in small ways, is key to building fluency and confidence.
So here's a final thought to chew on. What if, instead of just one new phrase, you challenged yourself to have one entirely new English conversation today?
Wow, now that's a challenge.
Think about it.
Awesome. All right, everyone, go out there and have those conversations. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.